I'm recording this video to change the trajectory of your life, literally, because I'm going to teach you the most advanced skill you've never heard of. A skill so crucial that every elite operator, special forces, astronauts, surgeons, pilots are explicitly trained in, but most founders have never heard of. That skill is called metacognition. Every year, I work with 100 founders from 6 to 9 figures and to train them in elite performance, and this is the most important skill I train them in. Once you develop it, your life gets exponentially easier because you think more clearly, even if you're very stressed. Negative thoughts stop running your decisions, and you break behavioral patterns that used to derail you. And as a result, you scale faster with less noise and more control. Just last week, I recorded a case study of a client who said he'd been able to drop decade-long addiction to nicotine, radically reduce procrastination, overwhelm, and burnout, and double his 6-figure business working 3 hours a day, just by training with the protocols and mastering the skill of metacognition. And today, I'm going to show you how to do exactly the same. Now, quick pause. If you're actually serious about executing with peak clarity, focus, and consistency every single day, we've worked hundreds of founders, remove procrastination and burnout by about 90%, triple the productivity within about 6 weeks, and we're rated 4.7 on Trustpilot. So if you truly want to succeed fast, the easy way, book a call with us. Now, what is metacognition? Well, putting it simply, it's just thinking about your thinking. It is the ability to notice your thoughts and emotions in real time instead of being dragged around by them. There's a move I want you to remember that is very important for metacognition, which is called the subject-object shift. Right now, you think you are your thoughts. You say, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm a procrastinator. But once you get good at metacognition, you start being the thought and you start observing it. So you go from I'm stressed to saying, I notice stress arising. You go from I'm overwhelmed to my brain is offering me the thought that I am right now handling too much. The moment you see a thought or emotion as an object in your awareness, it stops being your master. And a gap appears, a gap between perception and cognition. And that gap is where elite performance lives, because metacognition is what helps you take control of your mind. Let's make this concrete. Imagine your everyday life, you sit down to work and your calendar says, I have deep work schedule on the thing that actually moves revenue. But 2 minutes in, your brain throws a thought. Let's just quickly check email or Slack or your dashboard, whatever, for 2 minutes. Without metacognition, you obey that thought on autopilot and you start getting distracted. But with metacognition, something different happens. You notice the thought in real time. You mental label it as a distraction impulse and you redirect your attention back to the task that matters. It's the same brain, but a completely different outcome. Or for instance, you send a proposal and your client goes silent and your brain starts thinking that you have lost the sale. Without metacognition, you believe that narrative and you spiral into self-doubt or avoidance. With metacognition, you challenge that thought and you park it if there's no evidence and you choose the next rational move, which is to follow up, to improve the offer, or whatever. It helps you move forward. Metacognition is that secret skill that makes the difference between having an emotion and being owned by that emotion. Having a negative thought and automatically believing that thought, making emotional decisions or making strategic decisions. And every elite operator is trained in this, whether they use metacognition or not. And founders who don't have it, which is the vast majority of them, play the business game on hard mode. And this has real impact in your brain because metacognition, in essence, implies the ability to switch between 2 big systems in your brain: the task-based networks, which is what you're focused on doing, and the default mode network, which is mind wandering, ruminating, or predicting worst-case scenarios. Most founders live on autopilot. A trigger hits, the default mode network floods them with stories and emotions which they believe, and their behavior automatically follows. So metacognition flips the script. It helps train the conductor so you can assess whether you need to pay attention or not. And every time you choose to replace a thought, you are literally transforming your brain from a trigger-based reaction machine into a decision engine that you can actually steer based on what you need at every moment. And that is the supreme skill. The good news is that this is absolutely trainable. I know because I've trained 400 folks in this. The bad news is that scrolling YouTube mindset clips doesn't help. You need actual mental reps. And there's 3 simple ways to start. First is a daily 10-minute observation drill. You can call it mindfulness, you can call it meditation, I don't mind. but do it. Sit down, close your eyes, and watch your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. Don't fight them, don't believe them, don't follow them, just notice them. Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's distraction, maybe you're planning, maybe you're replaying a scenario. It doesn't matter. Label those and let them go. Because what you're doing is training the subject-object shift. The second step is the in-the-moment label. So during the day, when you feel an urge to procrastinate, to overreact, to doom scroll, to doubt yourself, mentally tell yourself, this is a distraction thought. This is fear of judgment. This is perfectionism. And assigning tiny labels creates something called cognitive distancing, which is what creates choice. And at the end of the day, step number 3 is metacognition review. If you log all of these triggers that we just discussed, you end up having a pattern list. You understand what emotions and impulses run the show and how you react to them. And when you do this consistently, in just a few weeks, you experience a very real shift, because you can still feel the stress, the doubt, the fear, but you don't care because you don't choose to believe those thoughts. So if you're a founder, you're consistently operating with extreme pressure, extreme expectations, constantly at the mercy of your thoughts and your emotions, understand that metacognition is not a nice to have, especially if you want to succeed. It literally is the most important skill there is, because without it, you are at the mercy of whatever mind throws at you. But once you get good at metacognition, you focus on what actually moves the needle. You make cleaner, faster decisions, and you build a company without burning yourself down in the process. Now, if you want to get deeper and get a 360 diagnosis of your performance and a specific protocol to build metacognition, book a call below. Because whether we work together or not, you have to understand that the number one obstacle in your quest to success is not how much you know, it's how good you are at executing on what you know. And having total control of your mind, thanks to metacognition, is paramount to become an elite operator. See you in the next video.